Turning attention now to the other important story on Faultlines this week. Well, Donald Trump today and on Thursday hinted that his administration could shift its focus to Cuba once the ongoing US military operations against Iran conclude. He started with Venezuela, he then moved on to Iran, and he's already set his sights on what he wants to do next, which is, in his words, fix the situation in Cuba. Donald Trump said that we think that we want to fix it. Finish this one first. Referring to the conflict involving Iran, he added that it would be only a matter of time before Cuban Americans would return to the island. Addressing the largely Miami-based audience, many of whom have Cuban heritage, Donald Trump said that he hopes people will be able to travel back to Cuba, but hopefully not to stay. Now, why are these remarks significant? Well, they come in at a time when tensions continue to escalate in the Middle East, come in at a time when the administration is now looking at a long-term 4 to 6 week sort of a scenario for ending the conflict in Iran, and it is already looking ahead. It is looking at another next foreign policy milestone that it wants to now conquer. Now, how does this all impact? Let's put that out for our viewers and tell you exactly and detail that for you as to what it really means when something like this actually happens. And why is it that Donald Trump really wants Cuba? Well, there is, of course, a regime change narrative. He's done so in Venezuela, where he says he's been very happy. He's attempting to do so in Iran. It hasn't been successful so far. There is a leadership vacuum, but it hasn't led to a regime change. And the broader messaging he wants to put forth is that he's willing, and his administration is willing, to confront communist regimes. That's the first key aspect of why he wants Cuba. Second is strategic location. Cuba sits in the backyard of the United States, just 150 kilometers from the US mainland, and Donald Trump would go down in history as the US president who managed to overthrow a communist Cuba regime about 50 odd years after that Cuban Missile Crisis. Countering rival powers, particularly in intel and security cooperation. That's the other aspect. Then there is the historic US-Cuba rivalry, ties of which has actually been strained for decades now, all of which Donald Trump hopes will, well, if nothing else, bring him a Nobel, who knows. Roll back Obama-era policies, that's what he's already done. And Barack Obama was the one who normalized ties with Cuba. But Donald Trump, as I said, is itching to go down in history books, and Cuba could be the other big thing that he wants to quote-unquote fix.